Hello and welcome to the very popular mixture questions. I've got an example laid out here, so I'm just going to read it to you. You need to mix 12 liters of 50% pure apple juice. So the assumption would be it's 50% apple juice, 50% water. To do this, you're going to mix some 30% apple juice and some 90% apple juices, and combined gives you your 50% 12 liters. So the question is, how much 30% and how much 90% should you mix? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say of the 30%, we're going to say I don't know how many liters. So I'm going to say X liters of 30%, and of the 90%, I'm going to say Y liters. Okay, so now I'm going to build up my equations. One of them's pretty easy because X plus Y has to make my grand total of 12 liters. So that's my one equation. The other equation's a little bit trickier, and it has to do with kind of the purity of the apple juice. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take the 30% apple juice and say, well, how much of that is actually apple juice? It's 30% of the X liters. So this little expression here, 30 over 100 times X, it's kind of like saying that's how much apple juice is actually in the mix. Plus, then I take 90%, so 90 over 100 times Y. So this is kind of telling me how much pure apple juice that is in that solution. And then in what it's got to equal is, well, I want to end up with 50% purity of 12 liters. So in other words, 50% times 12. This is the sort of amount of apple juice I should have in the end. So this is like saying the concentration of apple juice from this mixture plus the concentration of apple juice from this mixture has to give me exactly 50% of 12 liters. So you know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to times everything by 100. Clean up that second equation quite a bit. So it's going to look like this. 30x plus 90y equals 50 times 12. What's that going to be? 600, I think. Okay, so we've got that. I can make this equation actually a lot simpler because I look at it and I go, hey, everything divides by 10 if nothing else. If I just divide everything by 10, look how much nicer that equation becomes. So that's a pretty reasonable to work with equation. So I'm going to deal with this equation and of course my very first ones. That's the equations that form my system, and I want to solve them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this top equation here, I'm going to multiply it through by -3. And what's going to happen is, of course, I'm going to use elimination here. So that's going to become -3x, and then a -3y, and then a -36. Now if we add these two equations together, the x's have been eliminated. We end up with 6y, and over here we get 24. So if I divide by 6, y turns out to be 4. So I know exactly how many liters of the 90% purity. So I'm just going to write that down over here. So the 90% solution, I need 4 liters of that stuff, which means for the 30% purity, since these the amounts have to add up to 12, so 4 liters are already used up, that must mean 8 liters of that stuff. So there's my answer right over here. So now I know exactly how much to mix to end up with 12 liters that's exactly 50% pure. And with that, I am going to stop this example. We will catch you later.